as your bottom blue Protoss player in the very far top right corner. jookto changing up the color, man. It's going to be a Scion Zerg.
Oh, look at you on it with the scoreboard, though. Didn't miss a beat there.
Yes. No, I'm trying not to mess up here too much. I'm not used to observing, so a little bit too much pressure for me.
It's all right. You have a really good-looking suit jacket on. So.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Okay. This map, actually, if I remember correctly, is Sidewinder from ESV. So this map's really cool. I was playing it the other day, actually, and I like the options for thirds. You come down to your natural, right? And depending on where your opponent spawns, you can either go for the expansion here. If your opponent spawns straight down bottom right, you don't want to expand towards them. If you're Zerg, you can expand over here as well. It allows options here to maneuver and make your thirds depending on where your opponent spawns. It really, really lends itself to having you scout early.
So, I mean, if we take a look around this map a little, you start off at the main base, and it's, you know, a nice little narrow ramp. Very far forwards here, which is going to be something notable against Protoss players. It's going to be easy for them to get force fields down to units into your main if they happen to be there. It's nice and wide choke as well, so I'm anxious to see how Crank actually is going to go for this wall off. We see he's already got his first pylon down. Moving out of the natural expansion, there's a large ramp up here to the side that's going to take you up to this third, as you mentioned, Tim. Two options. I think this is maybe why it's Sidewinder. I love this little bend here. This one looks pretty exposed, man. It could be pretty scary if you have a Protoss army get in between a hatchery and the wall, of course. Terrans as well are going to have the ability to put on some serious pressure against really any race. Alternatively, moving out of that natural, you can travel farther down to the side here, and here you've got a low ground third base that is potential. Moving out towards the middle of the map. Well, that's very interesting.
Yeah, the middle of the map with Zelnaga here. It's real. You have to kind of commit to grab the Zelnaga tower. It potentially has some units sitting right in the middle of here. So you gotta always have a scouting Ling or a scouting Zealot running first, or have Observer, of course, floating above it there as well. It's just everything is blocked out by these nice little bushes here.
Yeah,
so
but
pretty
there
cool.
are definitely alternate attack routes. I'm looking around the side. So like, if a Terran was good and sieged up, you know, tanks and everything in that area, really you could just circumvent it and not be too concerned about having to engage that force.
A lot of pathing available on this map too as well for just moving around. Okay, so my opponent has Zelnaga covered. I'll just come around this right side, move all the way up to the mineral patches here, and then just go up around this Sidewinder here and run straight to his natural. And oh no, he doesn't have any gateways up blocking it off. I'll kill him, no problem. Huh. Well, looks like down here we have the natural on the way, following up into a gateway here. We'll see what Crank plans to follow up into. Seems to be enjoying that Phoenix play here, but jookto's going for very aggressive two-base strategies with double gas here. It's what he's been doing, so I expect Crank to change it up a little bit. Maybe even, as you mentioned last game, go with a Void Ray first. If he had a Void Ray that last game and potentially even a couple of sentries out a little bit quicker, could have been a little bit better for him.
Yeah, you know, it's good against the all-ins, but bad against the two-base muta. It's really just a tough call either way. I say you make the Void Ray, and if by the time the Void Ray is going to finish and all-in hasn't hit you, then you cancel it, and you start a Phoenix. Well, it's not actually a good idea, but...
Probe is going for the scout here. We will have Crank finding his opponent. I'll go ahead and check out his vision really quick. Never mind, he's already dead. Checking into the vision. He saw the natural, and that's about it. His opponent's going for a quick third this time, though, so jookto is changing it up. Like to see that. Seems to favor going for a really quick third hatchery on this map. And I like the choice of this hatchery. Again, as mentioned, if my opponent was down here in the bottom right corner, I would expand over here and then just be a little bit more active with my Zerglings in terms of watching the middle of the map. I want to see where Crank actually expands to. I actually feel like, well, what's his wall off? I don't know. I feel like him grabbing this third would be a little bit more beneficial for him than moving up to this area.
Yeah.
It seems like a safer opportunity with your opponent spawning cross positions.
It's going to be a little less vulnerable to counterattacks as well. You're just closer. Your army is closer to be able to respond. However, if he does end up facing up against Ling Muta, I'd rather see him take that one that's very close to the main basis. He'll be able to blink up and down this ledge here in order to move his stalkers around.
That's a good point too. Blink stalkers can be pretty strong on this map actually. It's a good point there by Andrew. The majority of Phoenix Zealot all-ins would be good too. Just get a pylon here, warp it on the high ground. Just a nice little amount of area here.
Yeah, Blink Stalker would actually be really strong in PvP, but right now we are on ZVP. Probe going to get taken out, and Crank has a large production tab relative to his opponent. There we go. Drones and extractors starting up for jookto.
Well, +1 attack has been queued up, speaking of production tab, as well as warping technology. Looking into the natural, we do have that third and fourth on the way. As jookto is grabbing the Zelnaga, get an idea of grabbing the map. It's pretty big, actually, so you want to be a little bit more active with your overlords. He's got very defensive overlords at the moment, which kind of leads me to believe that he doesn't want to have any aggressive tendencies until he gets that layer tech up.
7-minute robo on the field for Crank. Very interested to see what he's going to be doing with this if it's not an expansion, and it is going to be. Twilight Council following it up immediately.
Observer blink. What do you think, man?
It's a little late, but in the same respect, the Twilight Council is appropriately timed for +2.
Oh.
3 gateways is pretty standard for an expand, but it's not out of the realm of possibility at all, Tim. 2 base Blink Stalker with Observer is entirely possible.
We'll see if that's what he's going to be following up into. He'll need a couple more gateways, as mentioned.
I think it'll be the expand, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm thinking it.
But, hey, we'll see.
We'll see.
+1's about to finish. So's the Twilight Council. It's a perfect time to start +2.
Jeez,
there it goes.
Crease spread's really hard on this map, and he's got 3 already on the way. He's not even close to halfway across the middle of the map. If this was a Hana, it'd already be 2, a little bit past the Zelnaga already. So with the map being so big, crease spread becomes more important as well compared to the other matchups. 4th hatchery on the way here for jookto. Moving into a Spore Crawler as well, expecting some kind of aggressive attack coming from Crank, because Crank's been going for Phoenix the last couple of plays, but Crank going a completely different route.
That he is. Roach Warren is on the way for jookto now. And +1 missile attacks, but it is going to be that 3rd base out of Crank, as we were expecting. Sentries will be in position to defend this. Pylon's going to be warped down in the front so he can get some gateways to supplement his defense here.
Nice little wall on outside the natural as well, so again, he can really focus on getting this 3rd up. Observer does head towards jookto's base. We'll start getting an idea of what exactly there is within the main, and he will be seeing actually a nice amount of roaches by potentially popping out. Only 1 actually here at this one in the main, so we do have some aggression on the way. 8 roaches being queued up. Will he go for just some harassment outside the natural? It looks like he's just enough roaches to have on the field here, because he still really has no idea what exactly his opponent's going for. He only saw those first 3 gateways.
Yeah, Mortal now starting up for Crank. Blink as well, but yeah, he has not. Wait, actually, right now he gets a glimpse of them. In fact, of the tech structures that Crank is currently in possession of. He sees the Twilight Council, the Robo sees the Chrono Boost on the Forge.
Well, things will go ahead and harass this 3rd. It is on its way up, and at this point, can't really decide to go into kill mode. There's already a couple of gateways on the way. There's going to be a nice amount of units out very soon as well with that 3rd finishing up. But it looks like jookto wants to start popping out. He has 7 roaches on the way. Speed's going to finish up, and we're going to have roach drops very soon here.
Oh yeah, that is on the way. Be keeping a close eye on that. Roach Speed is getting ready to finish up. That will allow jookto to fall back from this engagement, but as of now, he cannot. These Stalkers can actually chase down each of these units, and they should. Crank should blink over this wall, but hey, at the same time, it could be a trap. So overall, he is going to just play it very safe and keep his army here at home.
Crank keeping an eye outside of this natural, getting an idea of how many roaches are following up in this as well, and he's decided to go ahead and stay with Immortal. +3 attack already on the way at the same time, so he's actually pretty well poised to hold this. He's just got to be careful of the drops here, where they plan to go. If we do have a huge drop into the main, potentially a lot of damage could be done very quickly.
Crank is nearing the point where, oh, he does have additional gateways. Yeah, okay, so he is actually going to be able to maintain this production for now as he continues to make probes as well. 2 at a time, though, not 3, even though he does have 3 Nexi. So he's balancing his economy with his military right now quite well as he needs to, but the Overlords are coming in. There's a definite possibility of a multi-pronged attack here. Luckily, Crank does have the mobility necessary, but those gateways are powered by only 2 pylons. If jookto could take them out, it's going to cut the reinforcements of Crank substantially.
Well, the drop is getting started up, and Crank has no idea about this. He thinks all the roaches are outside the 3rd. jookto even goes for a little bit of a push here at the 3rd to make it look like he wants to put all the aggression there. And suddenly we're going to have drops popping up in a couple of seconds down here in the main. Here they come. There they are. He's just floating around. There we go. Now he's going.
Last roach. Leave no man behind.
All right, so Crank will know in a second here. Looking into his army at the natural. You see the drop starting to happen. Doesn't respawn really quickly. He has not respawned quite yet, and now the drops are happening, but it might be a little bit too late. Good thing he pulls his probes away really quickly.
Yeah, he did, but he knows that this is going to there's going to be an attack back at his 3rd, so he leaves some forces behind to deal with that. Brings 3 Immortals, some Sentries, and Stalkers to deal with. This is a beautiful segmentation of forces by Crank. He has split his army up exactly how he needed to. Unfortunately, though, does lose the Nexus at his main base, which is a big victory here for Crank, for jookto rather. Crank needs to get out, take a 4th base, and reestablish this main. However, he did, assign the right proportions there of units.
Yeah, just a few seconds too late. That's all it was. Whether it had been there 5 seconds earlier, I really think he could have prevented jookto from focusing down that Nexus and at least going for a full-on engagement. 4th is now on the way for jookto. as he killed the Nexus. It's always nice to take the expansion right behind it. It shouldn't be expecting too much aggression from your opponent, as the production hasn't fully kicked in for that third. Spire Tech now on the way, and it looks like from here, Crank's just going to go ahead and try and hold off and try and get the economy back in the main. Jookto having +1 upgrades, but to go to +2. Got a nice amount of force fields here. No overlords for the pickup, and now Jookto is forced to engage, but Crank has a better army.
He does. The Roaches were able to swing around the top, though, which made that a little bit more of an even trade for Jookto. Crank's force fields there were phenomenal, but he couldn't hit those last 2 at the top that would have prevented those 12, 13 Roaches from being able to swing in, kill off a couple Stalkers, and escape. That was a good compensation by Jookto, but overall, great play there for Crank.
Well, Crank does have a hefty number of Stalkers as well, as we do have a Muta transition actually on the way, and Jookto's trying to throw off Crank a little bit here, it looks like, but I really feel like...
He's got Blink.
Yeah, he's
and a lot of Stalkers.
And +3 attack.
And Photon Cannons.
And +1 armor.
Drops coming in.
And he's Throw Dust. Well, we do have a lot of lanes going across the middle of the map here, and it looks like Jookto's going to go ahead and get ready for the army. But yeah, you're right, there is a drop available on the bottom right, but Crank is playing so disciplined right now, he's not going to allow for that to happen whatsoever. I'd like to have an observer over here just to keep an eye on those overlords, but for now, Crank is just playing a little bit more on the defensive side, and he knows they can defend at the main. And here we go, going to go ahead and engage. Is he going to land any force fields here? Jookto not paying attention to loses some lings really quickly.
Yep. I'd like to see Crank move those. He actually did move them back. The Overlords are coming in on the bottom and countering the cannons. Blinking in his Crank, and he's going to get a lot of kills here at a very nice trade. Muta's come into the third as well, but this is going to be another victory for Crank. Is playing a beautiful game this time around, looking like he may not let himself fall down 2-0. In fact, will create the opening for a possible comeback here.
Well, you know what? Crank actually only lost 9 workers there in that third, so he pulled him away very quickly. Got to go ahead and Photon Cannon up, and his army's getting very strong now. He's at 176 supply, going to be climbing up very quickly to 200 supply here. While at the same time, we still have Jookto still on lair tech here. When we have +3/1 attack, you normally don't want to be stuck on lair tech.
That's actually a great point. So that makes you wonder, why isn't Crank going for the attack right now? Well, Jookto just made this crazy tech transition into Mutalisk Zergling, and one of the advantages that Crank is going to have here is upgrades. He has +3, I believe. Yes, +3, +1. Crank having, or Jookto having switched over from the Roach, now has horrible upgrades compared to Crank. He'll be able to move out here in just a moment.
Hadn't Crank lost that Nexus, I would say that he's playing a perfect game here. He has been on point at every point. As I say point in every part of my sentence there.
Time to go, man.
Yeah, that's right. Muta's coming on the way. We're going to have a huge drop with tons of links here. The Stalkers do blink forward really quickly here to get some Mutas. Will they get the drop? At the same time, we do have a run by about to head in the natural. We'll jump over there in a second, and we're going to go and have a counterattack available here for Crank as well.
He is going to be going for that counter. Now, we've got a little bit of the possibility of a base race on our hands, but Crank has a lot of cannons at home. Look at Crank's ability to macro this game, sitting on just 200 minerals and 400 gas. He has spent all of his money, but in his main base is falling apart right now. At the other side of the map, Crank's going for a really big counterattack. The Mutalists have now killed off all of Crank's Stalkers. I don't know, man. It's going to be pretty close. I think Jookto has a bit of an advantage here, actually, with this base trade, though.
Oh, yeah. He did a good job of not committing all of his units to one base at all. He split them all nice and evenly, which didn't allow time for Crank to get a nice little army up for defensive purposes. Probes are dying off as well. The main is going to be killed off, though, for Crank. It looks like the lair will be going down as well as the spawning pool, and he's finally pulling some units back here. A decent defense on his natural. He still has a couple of probes, warping in some Stalkers at the same time, but Jookto is starting to really overrun all these bases here. Can Crank get here in time?
Well, Crank doesn't have much to go home to at this point, but the real problem is that he didn't escape with any probes, Tim, and this is a classic mistake that we see in a lot of base race situations. The first thing you need to do when you see Mutaling in your base and you're headed towards the opponent's base is grab your probes, run away with them, because you are going to need some buildings on the opposite side of the map.
Immortal's getting picked off there, and Jookto just being on a 5-base economy before that was able to get out a nice more amount of units at the end as well. Nice micro here from Crank, blinking on the high ground so he can deal with just pure Muta. Coming around the right side, he's going to blink down. He does blink down. He brings the Immortals in as well. Can he get the Mutas? The Immortals are coming from the top right corner and taking out a few Roaches as well. And it looks like Jookto is forced to retreat as Crank is suddenly doing it. Roach numbers going down very quickly.
They are. He's at a minor supply advantage. Crank needs to attack. He needs to attack now. He needs to bring some of these probes with his army so that they cannot be sniped. And he needs to hit this last economic bastion of Jookto. But I don't know that Crank actually knows that that exists. Tim, can we take a look, grab a building there of Crank's? And he actually just found it with this observer.
So that means he's now on a bit of a ticking bomb here. He needs to get down the aggression. He's going to go ahead and just fortify his natural, but really, is it worth it? There's not that many resources
I
there.
agree. I mean, the worker count right now for Crank is next to nothing.
Oh my gosh.
And every minute he sits here at home is a minute he falls behind. I think he wants to wait till these cannons are done, then be able to push across the map so he can't lose his structures at home, I guess. Yeah, really, he just needs to attack here. He can probably kill jookto off, but as more mutas hit the field, that stalker count is going to be less and less relevant.
Those mutas also have 2-0 attack as well.
Yep, that kicked
Nice
in.
amount of damage very quickly here. Stalkers will go ahead and blink forward, get those mutas to pop on out. But Crank is just in a really hard place now. And this economy's kicked in as well, moved into a lair. It's looking better for jookto.
Yeah.
Every single moment.
Yep, Crank is slowly dying right now because he's not bringing in any money. jookto is making more and more mutalisks. 3 more mutas on the way. And this is going to soon become a point that Crank can no longer come back from. Whereas, you know, if we saw him push out when jookto had 60 supply, here's the example here. jookto's gone up 30 supply over the last couple of minutes. Crank's gone up about 5.
Oh, dear. Well, he's decided to finally go ahead and move out. Stalker's heading the charge right away. If there was some way to get a couple of Zelts in here, I would be very appreciative of them. As it looks like jookto has followed up into his spawning pool here, so he can follow up with Lings right after he gets into an engagement really quickly.
I just don't think Crank realized how much damage he actually did to jookto, is the thing. Kills off his own Twilight Council.
Bring the probe with. The probes were all logged in, actually. They're too walled in. I was confused there for a second. I was like, what? But he actually just wanted to go ahead and get that probe out. Gonna snipe off this Overseer. It goes down.
Crank is now double the supply of his opponent, though, or jookto, excuse me. And Crank is just not moving out, man. When you have 6 probes and you see your opponent has 20, I mean, you have to attack. That's the thing. You can't wait. And Crank has waited a very long time. I actually think he had this game because he was down 10 supply, and a lot of that supply from jookto was roaches. He had, you know, 8 to 10 roaches.
Well, jookto's going to go for the counterattack instead of actually coming to deal with this army here, which is going to give an opportunity here for Crank to kill off a decent amount of drones. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cannons. Oh, but he kills the pylon off. Smart play there from jookto. And suddenly the main of Cranks is going down very quickly.
Yep.
He's actually going to go ahead and retreat all of his Stalkers here, leaving his Immortals vulnerable, which leans to kill those off if need be. Stalker's going to go focus down whatever they can right away. Roach is joining in as well. It's going to be looking...
It's over, man.
GG.
There's 6 more mutas, 6 more mutas on the way right now. Crank can't possibly kill these forces at this stage. jookto has double his supply, mostly in mutas at this point.
Well, jookto going to chase down the Stalkers right away. The Immortals just sitting outside of this base. Really can't keep an eye on those. He's too busy dealing with the Stalkers, but yeah, it looks like it's just game over. And
really
jookto
well
knows
played,
it.
though, out of jookto. I mean, his first 2 games, 2-base Spire, that I think was the pinnacle of the series for me. I really, really liked jookto's response upon seeing his opponent go for Stargate opening, making those Corruptors, then following it up with a lot of delayed mutas, so it looked like he was going for a tech transition. Game 2 with a big all-in, and Game 3 here, convincing Crank to go for a base raise. GG. Goes down for Crank, 3-0 to jookto.
jookto will be moving forward on a little map tournament, guys.
Yeah.
Very, very quickly. Great play over them all. Guys, again, this map tournament, as awesome as the players are in it, it's all about the maps. So what'd you think of the last 3? We had Abode, Sidewinder, and Sandcastles. 3 pretty cool maps. Hopefully we'll be able to jump into some more after this commercial break. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.